A lawyer for a new Sean Diddy Combs accuser claims that she's been contacted about the sale of one of the Diddy tapes, specifically a pornographic video featuring the embattled hip-hop mogul, indicted on federal trafficking and racketeering charges, and someone more high-profile. A lawyer for a new Sean Diddy Combs accuser claims that she's been contacted about the sale of one of the Diddy tapes, specifically a pornographic video featuring the embattled hip-hop mogul, indicted last week on federal trafficking and racketeering charges, and someone more high-profile than the rapper and Bad Boy founder. There already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood being shopped around, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became public knowledge, Ariel Mitchell Kidd said Friday on News Nation's Banfield. I can tell the video was pornographic in nature. This was in his Atlanta home, and it does seem the person isn't looking into the video. To me, it doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. Mitchell Kidd also said she was contacted a few weeks ago by a new client who claims Combs raped her in 2018 and filed a police report at the time. She called me and told me about her assault and her escape, Mitchell Kidd said. She was at a friend's house who had industry ties, and Diddy decided to come to the house.
I also was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy. So, which I declined that because...
Wait a minute, say that again.
As you come on to the page, kindly hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel, if you haven't done so as yet. And don't forget to put on your notification bell so you can be notified when I drop the next video. Thank you.
Say that again, back up. You're saying there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before, so like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on
No, I
tape.
can't explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay.
So
you can verify
that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was graphic in nature.
Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, Diddy. And it sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes. This was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so it's, to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping, like they're being surreptitiously recorded it.
Mm-hmm. All right. I wanted to ask you about the police report we talked about, but when your client came out, obviously the neighbor knew. Did she talk to her family? Did she talk to her friends? Did she have another lawyer? Let's go back to your client.
So she, as most victims are, they feel a lot of shame.
Absolutely.
And they don't want to vocalize what happened to them because then it makes it real. So they kind of internalize it and get over it. Mm-hmm. And due to the high profile nature that it was Mr. Combs who did this, she was afraid for her life. She was concerned that if she was to come forward and say something, that no one would believe her, because we're talking about 2018 when Mr. Combs was still pretty much at the height of his career, still very much so an icon and influential figure. Mm-hmm. So she's just a young girl from Northern California who's going to believe that he had done something to her like this. So she didn't tell anybody. She did not hire an attorney. All she did was make the police report in the hopes that maybe the police would try to investigate and come up with anything. But she said she kind of felt from the police that they were disregarding what she was saying, even without saying Mr. Combs' name. So she didn't feel any confidence that revealing his name would have done anything.
Sure, sure. I mean, but there's a police report.
Yeah.
I mean, that fact in of itself is a big deal, because when you're talking about going back in time and talking about these allegations from other alleged victims, you know, there's not a lot of police reports, but you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made. I'll attach the number so everyone can see that this is a real number and can go to the police department there and request their own copy of that police report that was made back in 2018.
Well, that's going to be a huge deal when it happens, obviously, so we want to follow up on that. Did Mr. Combs have any reaction? Do you know if he was interviewed? I mean, he was named in the police report?
I don't think so. Based on what she said, she really felt that the police were trying to bury this and disregard her claims and not really investigate, which is another reason why a lot of victims don't report these things to the police. We have to address the elephant in the room is that we have victims, especially women, who go to the police, who are typically men, who don't actually investigate these things. They victim blame, they victim shame, and women don't feel safe or even protected to even make these claims because they don't think they'll be taken seriously, nor will their claims be investigated.
Right. Well, your client should be proud of herself for filing that claim and making that call and going for help, because that's a huge deal. And of course, these are allegations. We want to say that. What was it like for you when you got this phone call, when you realized what you were going to be stepping into?
After talking to her, I just wanted to protect her. I just wanted to help her. She seemed as somebody very broken by this experience.
As you come on to the page, kindly hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel.
And it was very concerning for me to hear her saying these things and expressing this very deep trauma associated with what happened to her. I just wanted to make sure that, number one, she was heard and we can get her voice to the masses, and maybe Mr. Combs will actually, like right now we're starting to see, will actually face some type of consequences for what he's done.
The explicit video supposedly shows Combs alongside a more high-profile person who appears unaware they're being filmed. Lawyer Ariel Mitchell Kidd told News Nation's Laura Ingle without identifying the celeb. Mitchell Kidd also discussed the case brought by one of her new clients, who claims she was raped by Combs in 2018. The alleged victim, who has not been identified publicly, filed a police report after the incident, she noted. She reached out to me a few weeks ago. She called me and told me about her assault and her escape. She was at a friend's house who had industry ties, and Diddy decided to come to the house, Mitchell Kidd explained. Her client later learned that Combs was planning on trafficking her that night, according to Mitchell Kidd. It led to her being served a drink. She started to feel woozy. Combs assaulted her with an object, and then directed a gentleman to her while he pleasured himself, she said.
As you leave the page, don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.